Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I want to start off by saying that any and all thoughts and opinions are just that, thoughts and opinions. In no way am I sharing professional advice when it comes to physical and mental health. These videos are simply for fun and to provide my thoughts on the topic. Do not send any hate to anyone I talk about, and please be kind in the comments. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're going to get into the next part of Amberlynn Reid's drunk live stream. I know that's going to take a couple parts. It is about 3 hours, but I promise to try and cover as pretty much all of it, or most of it, as I can, and I promise to try and get as far as I can in without, basically just going brain dead from her stupidity. But I promise that I will try to do it as quickly as possible and put it out as fast as possible. It's going to take a couple days, but hopefully it won't be too long. But we'll just start at the next part and go from there.
So Beluga, yeah, I don't care. Like I literally like I don't care because so I genuinely feel like people are allowed to like flirt around, talk around, like do their thing. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like anything that she did prior to us talking about, like I don't care at all. Why would I care about that?
We all know for a fact that Amber cares. She's simply saying this as a justification for her own actions because it is going to eventually come out that she herself has been talking to multiple people, especially multiple married women, and her mentality is if someone gives her enough attention, if someone actually cares enough, it doesn't matter if they're taken or if they're married or if they're, spending time with other people. As long as she's getting the attention and validation she wants, it doesn't matter, and she's essentially able to get it from any type of source, regardless of how you or anyone else feels about it. That's basically Amber's mentality. If you don't give it to me, someone else will.
I don't. It was before we were together. Yeah. And I've gotten so many messages from you guys like supporting, like literally on the low. They were like, I hope you and Tommy are still together. Like I fully am in support of this. And it just like meant so much, like truly.
A really good piece of advice is if someone supports you privately but not publicly, then they don't actually care about you and they don't really stand by the things they say to you in private. So they might as well not support you at all because, frankly, if they're not willing to say it in public and actually support you and defend you, then, it means nothing. And also, if the people that do support you in public are willing to support you and the relationship you have, I would question their morals as a person because, frankly, nobody should be supporting that type of relationship or really supporting you at all because you're a trash human being. But each their own, I guess. I don't really have the type of mentality where I would want to support a very abusive person, but I mean, if that's what you want to back, I mean, back the horse, I guess.
It's almost midnight, but if Amberlynn goes live, I'm there. Happy to see you. Happy you deserve it after these last few days. Cheers. Thank you. I got in the stream late. Are you and Tommy still together? Yes. Like we did have a moment where there was like a breakup thing that was rumbling and I saw it and I genuinely thought that was going to happen. And I was like, you guys won. Like you guys fucking won. Like that's how I felt it like down to my core.
Have you ever considered the reason why people don't want you being in the relationship? Like, if there are hundreds, if not thousands of comments, people saying, hey, this is dangerous, this is potentially life ending, maybe you shouldn't be in the relationship, and you're the one that's choosing to ignore all the comments because, your perceived happiness is what is most important to you, maybe you are part of the problem. Maybe you've got a blindfold on and you can't see all of the potential red flags in the relationship simply because you just care about your own happiness and not your potential health or future. And I'm not under the illusion that sometimes people being in love, and Amber is not in love, she's infatuated, it's completely different, but when people are in love, sometimes they overlook certain red flags in a partner. I completely understand that. I'm not trying to, ignore the fact that, emotions play a key role in how people act and understand how, some people can ignore certain red flags in relationships. I completely understand that, but the problem is when you literally have hundreds, if not thousands, or even tens of thousands of people literally screaming in your face, telling you no, you've got to really have to try really hard to ignore that. Like, you have to try really, really hard to actually ignore tens of thousands of people telling you no. Like, that is an active decision you're making. You're not choosing to be ignorant. Well, you mean you are choosing to be ignorant, but you're not like being ignorant subconsciously. You're being like practically ignorant. Like you're being proactive in your ignorance, is what I'm trying to say.
And then we realized like That's not fair to us because we know the truth. Like, that's not fair at all, you know?
You know who else got the short end of the stick, Amber? Her ex-fiance got the short end of the stick because she's no longer alive. She had plenty of years to live, and now she's no longer around for, what was it? Money. That's right, money. Well, we all know that's a bullshit lie, but you said it was justified by money. So your partner's ex-fiance is no longer alive and lost essentially more than half her life purely for money, monetary gain. Was it worth it? Because I highly goddamn doubt it. Also, just a heads up, I'm a little annoyed, primarily because I just filmed 3 foodie beauty videos, as well as also filming the third video for Alexis, so I'm kind of annoyed just dealing with their stupidity, so now I gotta deal with Amber's stupidity. It's just going up, 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 up. So if I am a little annoyed, that's why.
Please say hi to my husband, Matt. We are obsessed. Oh, thank you. I'm obsessed with you guys. You're so sweet. Are you sure you aren't being love bombed? Correct. I know what that means, and that is not that. A love bomber is Erica. Just saying. I don't mean to like throw shade, but let's be so fucking for real right now.
You can't really say for sure that you know you're in a relationship with love bombing because it's really hard to actually, see it for what it is until you get either an outside perspective or until enough people really point it out and show you the red flags in the relationship. So you can't really say while you're in a relationship, oh yeah, I know for sure I'm being love bombed, unless you specifically have either like prior knowledge or if you really studied it or if you've actually gone through it before. And you have never really gone through that before. I mean, wifey may be a little on the nose. I don't know whether or not it's a yes or no with her because I mean we don't really know a lot about the relationship. There may be some elements, but for the most part, how would you know Tommy is or is not love bombing you? Because you've really never had that type of relationship with people. I mean, you have, but you've always been the manipulator, not the manipulatedee. So I mean, you can't really say for sure whether or not you're being manipulated through love bombing because you've never really had those experiences in the first place. You're also in the relationship and you're someone who craves validation and attention from people. So to you, it's just love.
Um, can she prove the posts were for money only? Yeah, like she has proved that to me. Trust me, you guys, I would never be with someone who wanted me to get bigger. If you guys have watched my YouTube long enough, then you fucking know that. You guys know that I have struggled with my weight on the constant, and I'm finally on a path where I'm losing weight. Like, she has been in my life since June 18th, and I've lost weight. Like, this isn't.
All right, there's just a lot to unpack here. First and foremost, you say that you're on a weight loss journey. Well, you quit the thing that made you lose weight in the first place, so you're gonna start getting weight back. So you ended the journey there. So let's not even go there. Secondly, you say that you've struggled with your weight, but like, have you like obviously being morbidly obese, it is harder to live in a body. But have you really struggled with your weight because you've never really had any problems with your weight? And you've also said that you've gone on record for being delusional and believing that you are skinnier than what you are. So have you really struggled in the sense that you like an actual mental torment? Because it's like a lot of people who are morbidly obese who genuinely have a disdain for themselves have this constant just hatred towards themselves. So you don't really have that, and like you don't even really show that. I mean, you say you say it, but you don't show it. And on top of everything you've said, I mean, every single relationship you get into, you start gaining weight more and more and more and more and more. And like whenever you really lose weight, it's when you're out of relationships. So you can't really say, you've been through relationships where you've struggled with your weight and you want to lose weight because every time you get into a relationship, you stop trying and you start gaining weight. And I know that's for a lot of people, that's what it's like that, you kind of sort of let yourself go sometimes in relationships, not all relationships, but some are like that, where sometimes you try a little less hard and you become a little bit more complacent in your relationships. Like a lot of people are guilty for that, but not to the extent Amber really has been. I mean, she's gained, how much did she really gain with Beck and Destiny? She gained a lot of weight, and it's not to shit on her, but it's saying like you can't really say that it's something you struggle with because you're perfectly fine being the way that you are, and every single time someone really calls you on it, when you've gone through the cycle of really falling off, you just try to defend and you try to place it on fat phobia when realistically it's not. People are calling you out because you actively try to lose weight and then you give up when you get into a relationship. So it's kind of what am I even trying? It's like even if she does watch this, it's not like she's actually gonna care. Like she doesn't care at all. Like it's whatever happens in the moment is all she cares about.
You know, I'm so happy for your happiness, but scared for you. I get it because when you see things online, you're like, whoa, this is crazy. And when reaction channels take that information and they fill in the holes themselves, it becomes a lot. And you start to believe what you're seeing. And I get it.
It isn't the reactions channel for filling in the holes, it's your fault and your partner's fault for leaving out the parts that people need to fill in the first place. And also, if you don't want those parts of your life on the internet, don't post them online. She actively posted them online for people to judge. The internet is a public space. Way too many people are so comfortable with the internet that they forget social media and the internet in general is a public space. If you do not want your dirty laundry aired on the internet, do not go out in public and scream it from the goddamn rooftops. Why are people so stupid when it comes to common sense? It's like the equivalent of me going to the family reunion, having everyone sit at the dinner table, and me just screaming out the skeletons in my closet. Like, if you don't want it out there, do not put it out there. It is that simple. Like, common sense is not common for these people. And it's like, oh my god, they cry about people judging them for things that should not be in public in the first place. It's like, keep your attractions to the bedroom and not on the internet, and people won't judge you for your attractions. It is that simple.
I get that. But I'm telling you that what you're hearing is not true. And I don't know how else to prove that besides just be myself and be true to myself. And both of us be true to each other.
It doesn't matter whether or not she has the attraction because she's still engaged in the behavior in which costs someone their lives. And whether or not she did it for money doesn't really matter because money hungry people are always going to be money hungry. And regardless of whether it was an attraction or money, what happens when money starts to get tight, Amber? Because whether you like it or not, you're getting less money than what you used to have, and you're only getting more money now because you're doing social media and you're having a little bit of drama, so your views are up. But once the views goes down, are you going to start engaging the behavior with your partner because you can start making money, or whatever it may be? Like, regardless of whether or not the actions continue with you, there's still past actions in which she should be held accountable for. Also, just because you engage in behavior that you may yourself not find attractive, it doesn't really matter that you're still crossing a boundary in which should not be crossed. It's like the mentality that some gay men have where they believe since they're not attracted to women, they're allowed to touch women in certain places without permission because they don't have that attraction. No. It does. Just because you don't have that attraction does not mean you're allowed to cross that boundary simply because you're not attracted to it. Like, there are boundaries in which should not be crossed, even if you don't have that attraction. The fact that you're trying to justify that simply by saying, well, she doesn't have that attraction, she just did it for money, that makes the situation worse, in my opinion, because there are multiple avenues in which you could get money, and someone lost their lives simply because she wanted money. Which, we all know is a bullshit lie, but let's just say for the sake of the argument, again, not appropriate.
So even before I want to make this very clear. Even before I met Tommy, like I was talking to my mom about quitting semaglutide because it wasn't working. I had literally doubled the dose like I was supposed to, and it was not working for me. And I was like, this isn't working. And my mom's like, give it another week. So I was like, fuck, fine. And then I met Tommy. We started talking. She even told me, just keep going. Sometimes you have times where it just doesn't work, because she actually knows someone who's also on it. And she was so supportive of me being on it. And she would constantly ask like how I was feeling and like this and that. Like she was 100% supportive, and she's 100% supportive of me losing weight. She wants me healthy. She wants me mobile. She wants me happy. And she wants to have a life with me. She wants to go out and do things with me. Like,
this might be because I was never in a position in which I was allowed to really have semaglutide, because by the time I was losing weight and stuff like that, it wasn't really popular out, nor were you really allowed to have it in Australia. So it's kind of a little bit of annoyance on my part, but also just a lot of privilege on her part. The fact that you simply could go, well, it's not working the way it is, and, it's not really giving me the benefits I want, so I'll just stop it, and, you could potentially have the resources to continue doing it and just giving it so that way, there are times in which it may lax, because some people have said that semaglutide and like Ozempic and stuff like that, there are times where it is effective, and there are times where it's not effective. So sometimes you need to just wait it out. The fact that you have such a mentality of, well, oh god, I have to wait, like the privilege in which just seeps from this woman irks me to just a whole different level. Like, semaglutide is a drug in which you have to continue using in order to lose weight. You should also be getting therapy in order to actually address your mental health and your eating disorder. It is not a miracle drug where it's going to fix all of your problems. It is a temporary fix. You're supposed to continue this until you can really manage it yourself, or you'll be able to really wean yourself off. A lot of people think, I'll just take this until X happens. Okay, so then what happens when X comes? Are you going to suddenly just get off and you're going to fix all your problems? Or are you going to start binging again? Like, you take it, and you should also be doing the necessary work in order to actually fix your problems. Address the reasons why you overeat in the first place. Why do people not put in the necessary work when they have the resources to help them? So many people struggle and don't have the ability to do those resources and actually manage to, overcome those struggles and, not having those resources and be able to do the work in order to actually benefit themselves. And so many people who could have such an easier time with the resources to do it just refuse to do it because they just are so goddamn privileged. Oh my god, this woman.
I mean, that says a lot, folks, I got to say. So, you can't stick to anything is all it is. Exactly. It's fucking exactly. It's literally me, folks. Like, you guys know that. You guys know that it's literally me. It's always been me. Like, and now all of a sudden you're going to blame someone else.
I have to admit, it is hilarious, her finally take accountability for her own actions simply because she's defending someone else because she's worried about her next caretaker leaving her. Like, that is some, like, god tier level story writing there. She's actually taking accountability, but it's only at someone else's expense, so she could be Marta Lynn once again. Like, oh god, where was the self-awareness years ago?
It's just like, no, blame me, because I am always the one who is like at fault for my doing. What I put in my mouth, up to me. If I'm dieting, up to me. If I'm not dieting, up to me. It's always been up to me and no one else's. Someone said it's Becky's fault. That's going to be a forever meme, I feel like.
Really? Because every single goddamn time you fail, it's always ever been, your ED or your goddamn friggin' lipedema, your childhood trauma or whatever the 100 other goddamn reasons you got. So the fact that you finally take accountability of someone else's expense is genuinely hilarious to me because now it's goddamn too late. I'm actually getting really annoyed at this, and I do apologize for all the people. Like, I try not to have an attitude, but this woman is annoying, and I don't think I've ever really found someone more just who sets me off more than Amber. Like, she's like, this woman is an enigma because I'm usually a very calm person, but there's just something about me that just floors me every single time I hear her open her mouth, and like the worst sides just come out every single time. And it's crazy because I have met plenty of women, or not even women, just people in general, both men and women like Amber, and no one has ever really annoyed me to the extent that she has. It is genuinely wild how bad I get when I listen to her.
When did you stop talking to Erica? It was June 22nd, I'm pretty sure.
Congratulations on getting some self-respect and stop being the side piece in someone's marriage.
I'm getting so many messages from you guys, just like being so supportive in private, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. I know sometimes it's hard to be supportive publicly because people are a little hectic around here, which I get it.
Honestly, it's kind of low-key pathetic that you're willing to defend someone behind closed doors but not in public, because, I mean, if I'm willing to stand up for someone, I'm going to stand up for someone. Even if I don't necessarily like someone, I'll stand up for someone when they are doing right or they are not specifically in the right. Like, when someone is attacking them and that person is in the wrong. Like, I will defend them when they deserve to be defended, and I will, stand up for what I personally believe in. But at the same time, I'm not going to go behind closed doors if I'm not going to say it in public, because that's kind of low-key pathetic.
How come I stopped going to therapy? Because I ended up moving to a different state, and my therapist couldn't be my therapist anymore, which sucked so fucking bad, like truly. And since then, I just haven't gotten a new one.
So you just haven't tried to get a new one. That's exactly what it is. So another excuse for you not trying.
Can you shout out my girlfriend Sarah? Hello, Sarah. I hope you're doing well.
I can't help but laugh at this point because I remember Jordan from the ankle telling Sarah to fuck off, and I think that honestly sent me. I honestly laughed to the point where I started crying because I thought that was just hilarious to just how it was out of nowhere, and it was just so goddamn funny. All I need to know is Jordan, please put that on a shirt because I would buy that. Like literally, just fuck off Sarah on a shirt.
And no, I will not be collabing with her. So
That's a massive ego you have, Amber. I don't know who Quirky Love Rose is, but all I know is she's probably better than you in every goddamn single way.
favorite candle scent? I like masculine scents. I always have. So like that or like clean scents, like linen and stuff like that.
There is not a single doubt in my mind if we actually walked into Amber's apartment, it would probably smell cross between like a cat litter box and probably like a gym bros dirty gym bag. Like probably like sweaty socks and maybe like hot pockets or something like that. Like there's not a single doubt in my mind it would smell funky as shit in that apartment.
Stop with the no. I can't. I literally can't. I'm a 57-year-old mom of 4 adult children. I too sent you a message through TikTok, and I hope my ideas help you a little. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just so bad at checking messages, like thoroughly.
Honestly, I can imagine that lady. She's probably just like some sweet, caring mother or something like that. I mean, I question people who, honestly send genuine love to Amber because, like, if you support her, I question your morals. But she probably, she probably sees like the best in people. Unless you're the type of person who's willing to go cave diving in Amber's Grand Canyon, I highly doubt that you will ever get a message returned from her because she doesn't care. Unless your conversation starts with, "Hey, you up?" She does not give two shits about you or really anyone in general.
I hope you're able to come out the other end of all of this and find your happiness. Everyone deserves happiness. Thank you.
I hope to cross and never see Amber come out of anything, honestly. Oh, that was a horrible joke. I'm disgusting. What the hell is wrong with me today? Honestly, guys, I'm a little feisty. I don't know what it is. It's definitely, like, I'm honestly kind of... The fact that I've had to deal with this for probably 2 or 3 hours now, I'm probably kind of slowly losing my mind. And again, I apologize for that joke. That's kind of disgusting. And that's not totally... Honestly, it is me. Let's face it, it is me. If I'm willing to say it, it is me. I need to accept that.
And it's like only you guys will be able to see that. Like genuinely from the bottom of my heart, you guys will be able to see that. And that's what matters. Like, you look sweaty. I have no sweat on me right now. Stop coming for me.
I have no idea why, but when she put her hand near her cleavage, I literally just shrunk in on myself. Like, I didn't think it was possible to get any gayer, but honestly, here we are.
Like, I am literally dry. I'm a dry girl.
Now I feel bad for Tommy.
A little slow. Okay, so anyone talking about like people moving like on so soon and stuff? Everyone's timeline is different. I'm not here to like ever like judge someone based on that. Like everyone's just different and timelines are different. I really don't like, I don't know. I'm drinking Seagram's.
All right, guys, so I will give Amber half a point. Some people will move really fast, and sometimes it works out. I don't believe really the concept of love, the idea of like falling in love or is like instant love or stuff like that. I don't believe in that type of crap. I think it's fairy tales and it's a bunch of bull. I really believe in the idea that it's just a bunch of love bombing. That being said, I recently found out something about my parents, and my dad actually told me this, and like just as an off, just an off random off conversation. He actually proposed to my mum 6 days after they started dating. And I did not think this was serious until I actually talked to my mum. And she said straight away, 6 days in, he got on one knee in the middle of the department store, a ring that she was looking at. She was like, "Oh, casual, I really like this ring." He bought that ring, got on one knee, and proposed to her. Bat out of hell, this woman, Usain bolted out of the department store. And keep in mind, back then, there was no, like, cell phones weren't really a thing back then, so they weren't common. There was no way to really interact with someone unless you actually go to see them in person. She was gone. He did not find her for essentially the rest of the day, apparently. So I can imagine the conversation after, like, he got back to, like, her house and found her and had a conversation with her. That would hands down be the most hilarious thing. And I could imagine that just, oh, God, I wish I was a fly on the wall for that conversation.
So, am I moving? No, I'm not. I'm not. Am I leaving YouTube? I think if people stop being so hectic, I will stay. And I just need like a little bit of like calm to my nervous system because I have been like.
I want you guys to just take like a moment to think about like what job could Amber possibly have that doesn't require social media. Like, could you imagine this woman like working at McDonald's or something? Just think about that for a second. And for anyone who comes at me, I'm not shitting on people for working in fast food restaurants or anything like that. Me personally, I work in an animal shelter. I literally get paid to pick up shit. So I am the last person who should really, judge it when it comes to other people's jobs. That being said, I am talking about Amber and potentially working in a job where she has to do customer service and actually be nice to people. I would love to see that. That would be like top tier level karma for this woman for the way she's treated all of her past relationships and just people in general.
It's just been a lot. It's been a lot. Am I excited for fall? I am. Like, it's been so hot lately. Oh my gosh. What kind of drinks do you recommend? Are you talking about like alcoholic drinks? You shouldn't ask me. I'm going to be so simple. A Buzzball, a Seagram's, like,
I'm going to assume that Tommy likes Seagrams because the only reason Amber is really going for that is simply because she adapts to her partner's personality types. And I mean, do you really have to take your partner's alcohol choices too? Of course, it's just a baseless assumption. It could literally just be the cheapest stuff there, which is like, I'm not a drinker. I don't like drinking. But if I have to go to a place where I drink, I literally just go there and find what's the cheapest stuff in store because I don't like drinking. I don't really care for it myself. So it could literally just be that. But me personally, I'm assuming Amber is literally just taking her partner's personality once again.
I don't think so. What is the symptom? Can someone help me out here? Can you say hi to my friend server, Daddy? Hello, Daddy. I love a daddy. Now that everything's out open, y'all literally came for me. You're like, you bought that moon thing. You bought that Lego thing. Y'all, Erica was real. And she literally loved me. And it's fucked up. She lied to me, lied to her wife, like the whole nine. It's not okay. Like,
I honestly don't know what's more embarrassing. The fact that you're a side piece and you willingly acknowledge the fact that you were a side piece in a marriage, or the fact that you spent months gushing about how amazing Valentine was and you knew this entire time she was married. Oh, God, that is bad.
Stop yapping and just eat your feelings. See, that's very feeder coded. I think you might need to look in the mirror, actually. So, like, some of y'all, I can't.
As funny as that was, it was kind of inappropriate. Like, no, you shouldn't be telling people to eat their feelings. Definitely not someone who, has an ED. On top of that, Amber, don't throw that type of energy around. Come on. Like, you were the one that got on TikTok and was filming yourself binge eating, which I hate to break it to you, that's not how binge eating works. If you were really having a binge moment, you wouldn't be setting up a camera to film yourself throwing a fit or a tantrum about you choosing to buy cookies and then swallow a bunch of cookies. Like, that was not a binge. That was you just eating on camera for attention.
I don't eat my feelings anymore. I'm joking. I did not heal overnight.
I understand she's joking and she's making a joke. She corrects herself right now, but wasn't it only recently she was she was in the kitchen eating whipped cream or whatever it was. I think it was either whipped cream or frosting, but like a butter knife. Like, that was some weird shit. Alright guys, we're going to end part 2 here. We still got another 2 hours, which I think primarily it's my fault because I just talk so much, but honestly, there's just a lot to get through, and I enjoy having a bit of feistiness. Honestly, this video is pretty fun. I think probably because of all the Alexis and Foodie Beauty crap I had to deal with, I think I had a bit of an attitude, but it came off as pretty fun. There was a couple of jokes in there, but I'll have to edit this and I'll post this as quickly as possible so that way I can get into the next couple parts, but hopefully I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.